Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Sid Alpha and welcome to Line of Sight, the Exclusively Games weekly news roundup series, and we're on lucky number 13 this week. Strange that so many weeks have passed us by in such a short period of time. They say that time flies when you're having fun, so thank you to all of you for making this video series such a great time for me. Of course, as always, don't forget that the continued success of this series relies on all of you, so don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and also don't forget to ring the bell because YouTube likes making everyone jump through as many hoops as they possibly can. Also, if you haven't already, check out the website over at exclusivelygames.com for great news articles and more reviews. There's a ton of content released there daily, and it is a great source of information. That said, we're going to keep the preamble short this week because one of these stories has a lot of moving parts and I expect it to take a lot of time. So here's what's on the list for this week. WoW Classic launch date and test schedule announced. A Steam glitch gives away tens of thousands of free games and tanked the trading card value for dozens of games. Microsoft and Sony put a pause on the console wars and agreed to work together for cloud gaming, and the Epic Store's mega sale turned into a mega fail. Now that we're all queued up, let's get started. World of Warcraft has been a staple in the video games industry since its initial release in 2004. The wildly popular MMO has survived 15 years of patches, new content, retconned history, and reworking of existing lore. It is a source of instant nostalgia for a vast number of gamers the world over, and one thing that people have been asking for an extremely long time was a vanilla WoW option. Originally, in response to that, J. Allen Brack made the now infamous "you think you do, but you don't" statement at BlizzCon 2016.
Have you ever thought about adding servers for previous expansions as they were then?
No. And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't. Remember when you had to spam cities and say, need a tank, need a tank, need a tank during the Burning Crusade days? You don't remember that because now you just push a button that says go to the dungeon. You don't want to do that. Remember that one bug that really pissed you off that we fixed like 2 years ago? Still there in the past.
Of course, the fans persisted, and merely a year later, J. Allen Brack was the one that made the announcement of Vanilla WoW at BlizzCon 2017.
And I want to talk about ice cream. Ice cream is great. Ice cream is one of my favorite desserts. Personally, I love chocolate, and I love cookies and cream. Cookies and cream is actually my all-time favorite dessert. But I understand that for some of you, your favorite flavor is vanilla.
Well, here we are a year and a half later, and we finally have an announced release date for Vanilla WoW and also test dates leading up to the official launch. Per Blizzard Entertainment, Classic WoW will be going live officially on August 26th and 27th, depending on which time zone you happen to be in. In the US, the game will go live on the 26th at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Also, there will be beta stress tests for Wednesdays, May 22nd through the 23rd, June 19th and June 20th, and July 18th and 19th. Also, character creation will be open beginning August 13th, although this will also set to open up simultaneously worldwide, so the Americas will have the ability to create their characters on the 12th due to time zone differences. So, whether it be for the Horde or for the Alliance, come August, you'll be able to play World of Warcraft the way it was originally intended. Our next story involves a veritable comedy of errors surrounding a recently discovered glitch in Steam's systems that resulted in dozens of indie games having tens of thousands of copies of their games activated on accounts without them being paid for. This information was originally brought to light with the game Glare One More, a word entry style game developed by Current iBook. This game and many others had activated a free site license package for their game that is commonly used for gaming cafes, libraries, and schools. However, due to a glitch with Steam, it meant that through the Steam API, one could download the game for free. Other games on the list had at one point in time had a free demo of the game as well, which made them also vulnerable to this glitch. The third-party tool, SteamDB.info, which makes use of the Steam API to gather a large amount of useful information about games, sales information, numbers of concurrent players, and a wealth of other data, brought this glitch to light, as when SteamDB detects that there is a free copy of a game, it would show a free download link. This was posted to a thread on steamgifts.com for people to download, and download they did. Over 35,000 did in the case of Glare One More. The information was posted to 2 separate threads on the website, steamgifts.com, and tons of people, including Steam trading card bot farmers, activated truly staggering numbers of the games on the list. In the case of Clean Water's Fantasia Final Definitiva remake, my apologies if I mispronounced that, over 175,000 copies were activated, although in the case of that game, what people were getting wasn't the actual full game, but was the Chapter 1 free demo. On the SteamGifts.com website, the poster that tracked these games stated, "Even if the game doesn't give you a +1 on your library or drop cards, get it. When the dev fixes the problem, it will start to drop cards if the game hasn't, and count as +1 on your library. The games Dark Matter, Glare One More, and Trapped are proof of that." What this meant was when the developers fixed the issues with the Steam demos or the site packages, as long as the game was in your library to begin with, the game would then begin to drop cards that could be converted to gems and used to buy, sell, and trade Steam trading cards for higher value items. That is due to the system on Steam that controls that being completely separate and merely detecting the presence of the game, which it assumes would be the full version of the game as the free demo or site package no longer exists, and detects that the seller is authorized for Steam trading cards. In the case of Glare One More, this ended up bottoming out the value of the Steam trading cards, directly harming the income of the developers as these cards were not being traded, merely converted to gems. Now, on the Steamworks discussion forums for Steam developers, the user Psychonic was able to shed some additional light on the situation. "It looks like your store package was changed to be the new paid one, but your free package still exists from before. Even though it's not your primary store package, people can still redeem it with or without that glitch on SteamDB. What you want to do is effectively retire the free package completely. This will also remove ownership of the game that only obtained it via the free package. The steps below require using the console in your browser's dev tools, since there is no UI for changing your package type or removing an app from a released package or the last app from a package." Now, in that posting, the user Psychonic also added a lengthy how-to guide for any indie developers affected to be able to resolve the situation, which was later confirmed by the developers of Hack the Core and their other title Red and Blue, and then later updated on SteamGifts.com as being, quote, completely fixed, meaning the illicit copies were removed from people's accounts and they would no longer be able to obtain card drops from the now non-existent free version depots. Valve themselves were slowly working on things behind the scenes to resolve the issue, and all requests for comment that I'd sent to Valve over the past week remain unanswered. Our next story involves the world of cloud gaming and Microsoft joining forces with Sony. Over the past several years, cloud computing has become an absolute staple in the corporate world, with Microsoft's Azure and Amazon's AWS leading the charge on the front of cloud server infrastructure, and Microsoft's Office 365 dominating software and email. In an announcement made on May 16th, it is stated, quote, "The two companies will explore joint development of future cloud solutions in Microsoft Azure to support their respective game and content streaming services. In addition, the two companies will explore the use of current Microsoft Azure data center-based solutions for Sony's game and content streaming services. By working together, the companies aim to deliver more enhanced entertainment experience for their worldwide customers. These efforts will also include building better development platforms for the content creator community. This collaboration will also be used to further the areas of semiconductors and Azure's AI technology, with the expressed stated benefit of bringing new innovations to both gaming services platforms. As a result of this partnership, the planned next generation of consoles might very well be the last ones that make use of traditional graphics processors, and the following versions might very well be specialized streaming boxes to Azure VDI systems powered by both Microsoft and Sony. Now, our last story for the day is the epic sale, epic fail story. It's a little odd talking about two of these stories twice, as I'd already covered both this and the Steam story on my YouTube channel, but I suppose that just means I'm already familiar with what's been going on. Recently, Epic Games decided to hold a sale on the Epic storefront, offering $10 off of any game on the store priced higher than $14.99, where the discounted $10 would still be paid to the publishers and developers. This has raised a couple of perceptual issues and pricing issues that have resulted in several games being temporarily removed from the Epic store, and also some problems with gamers due to currently still under development storefronts. Paradox Interactive decided to not take part in the sale with their pre-orders for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, and as a result, the game's Epic Store page currently returns a 404 error and will remain unavailable until the sale is concluded on June 13th. Now, on the Russian website, DTF.ru, Epic Games' Sergei Galyonkin initially stated these 4 points in relation to anyone that had purchased Vampire the Masquerade under this $10 discount. Anyone who managed to buy the game at a discount will receive it at a discount. The game will return to the store, and we fully compensate the discount to the publisher. They do not lose money, and the publisher was informed in advance about the sale mechanism and was aware of its conditions. Which he later followed up with, okay, regarding point 4, I was sure that Paradox was aware of the sale mechanism. After a little investigation, it turned out that I was wrong. There was also another game that was pulled from the Epic Store over the sale, which was the game Oxygen Not Included, which is also set to return once the sale ends. The Supergiant Games ran into their own issues over pricing that originated due to regional pricing through the Epic Store for the game Hades. This discounted price of Hades made it so that while it was still eligible for the $10 off sale in the US, in the European Union, its price ended up being at €14.86, just shy of the $14.99 needed for the discount. People complained, and so Supergiant Games decided to raise the base price of the game from $20 to $25, stating it reflects the game's current value in early access based on all the additions and improvements we've made since launch. This, of course, resulted in another backlash that caused Supergiant Games to reset the base price back to $20, coming full circle and landing them exactly right back where they were to begin with. On the Supergiant Games website, they said, earlier today, Hades became available at a significant discount as part of the Epic Mega Sale on the Epic Games Store. We communicated poorly in the hours that followed and wanted to clear things up. The retail price of Hades is now back to $19.99, our original launch price. With the Epic discount, you can get the game for $10 off that price right now through to the end of the sale on June 13th. After the sale is over on June 14th, we will raise the game's retail price to $24.99. We had intended to raise the retail price of the game soon, but made the decision rashly as part of the sale. We didn't provide advance notice to our customers, despite previously stating that we would do so. That was our mistake, and we sincerely apologize. It is also important to be aware that the Epic Store does not have a shopping cart anywhere except for on its roadmap, which has caused its own set of issues as a result of this sale. First, you do not have the capability to buy games on the Epic Store as gifts for friends. You can only buy games for yourself. Also, as there is no shopping cart, you have to buy the games one at a time. This is causing problems as repeated purchases have been triggering the Epic Store's fraud prevention system and actively locking gamers out of their accounts for taking advantage of the sale. So while Epic Games pushes ever onward with doing anything and everything they can to undercut Steam, it would seem they are constantly tripping up on their own incomplete infrastructure. But that's all the time we have for you on this week's Line of Sight. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, consider checking me out on my YouTube channel over at youtube.com/SidAlpha, where I did actually cover 2 of today's topics and also added a fair amount of commentary as well. With that said, I'm going to be getting back to news stories and new games for next week's episode, so don't forget to tune in next week. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am Sid Alpha, and I'll see you next time.